I discovered my wife was cheating for 8 months, so I exposed her with proof, forced her to confess to everyone. Now, after trying to reconcile, we've separated for the sake of our kids, and I don't know if we'll ever recover from the damage. Long story short, I've been married to my wife Anna, 39 femme, for 11 years. We have 2 kids together, Riley, 11 male, and Sophie, 9 femme. I found out Anna was having an affair that lasted 8 months, and for the last 3 months of that, I knew exactly what was going on. I didn't confront her until I had all the proof I needed, videos, messages, everything, plus a separation agreement drafted by a really good lawyer lined up. This all went down about 9 months ago, so what people here would probably call D-Day. I waited for Anna to get home from being with the guy she was cheating with. Let's call him Mike, 42 male. She had no clue that I was onto her. The moment she saw me sitting at the kitchen table, she got tense as hell. I told her to sit because we needed to have a talk. At this point, I was already past the stage of tears. The pain had sort of worn itself out, and I was just numb. From the day I found out about her cheating, I made my decision. Divorce was going to be the only way. Anna sat down, really panicked. Her first words were, "You're scaring me. What's going on?" I told her straight up, "I'm not here to talk about your cheating. I know everything. I'm here to settle our separation and get divorced." I took off my wedding ring, set it on a folder with the separation papers inside, and slid it across the table to her. Anna immediately broke down, crying, begging, apologizing, pleading, the whole 9 yards. But we weren't getting anywhere. No matter what she said, I just pushed back and wouldn't accept anything. She kept saying she loved me, and I shot back, "Really? You love me so much that you slept with someone else and gave me the worst pain I've ever felt." After a couple hours of this, I told her she needed to leave and stay at a hotel for the night. We'd pick things up the next day. I also told her, "If you don't sign this separation, I'll tell everyone what you've been doing today." At the time, all I wanted was for it to finally be over. I know, forcing her to sign under that threat wasn't the best look. She signed anyway, then left, and the messages and calls started flooding in all night. Now and then, I'd answer with one-word replies, nothing thoughtful, just, "I'll talk to you tomorrow." The next day, reality hit her. In a big way. Anna begged for another chance, counseling, whatever it took. She said she'd do literally anything. I told her that on Monday I was going to file for divorce, and that she had 90 days to convince me I was making the wrong decision. Honestly, I don't even know why I offered that. Guess I was weak. I thought I'd made peace with ending it, yet I caved. So the next day, I told her about a list of things she'd need to do if she wanted to even try fixing this. I didn't show her what was on it. Just told her it existed, and unless she followed it exactly, we'd go full no contact, except for the kids, and the divorce would be inevitable. I'd tell everyone what she'd done. I made sure she understood. Even if she did every single thing right, I still might never trust or love her again. My trust was lower than 0, and I didn't think I even loved her at this point. She destroyed what we had, and the only reason I was even considering rebuilding was for Riley and Sophie. The list went as follows. 1. No more lies, ever. She had to write out, in detail, exactly what she did with Mike, how it started, why she felt justified screwing me and our kids over like this. If she sugarcoated, left anything out, or forgot a detail, I'd end everything immediately. 2. Full transparency. She had to give me access to all social media, phone, email, computer, salary, and bank statements, everything. She'd report where she was and what she was doing at all times. 3. Individual counseling, minimum 2 or 3 times a week, until she could be honest with herself about her choices. Marriage counseling, MC, would only come after that. She agreed, made the report, handed everything over. When she finished, that's when I brought up points 5, 6, 7. One at a time so as not to overwhelm or tip her off. She had to meet with Mike's wife, Lauren, 39 female, face to face, tell her the entire truth, hand over all the evidence, and offer to testify in court if necessary. At first, Anna flat out refused. She said she couldn't do that to him. That's when I pointed out she cared more about Mike's feelings than her own family's. If she didn't do this, reconciliation was over. If she wouldn't tell Lauren, I would. And if I had to tell her, there'd be no hope of fixing anything between us. Eventually, Anna agreed. She met Lauren, confessed everything. Lauren slapped her, pulled her hair, scratched her up, and screamed at her. Anna just let it happen, didn't fight back, and I didn't step in. She ended up with some cuts and bald patches. Afterward, in the car, I told her Mike actually had been seeing another woman at the same time as her. Showed her evidence from the private investigator I'd hired. I'll admit, I'm ashamed of how much satisfaction I got from seeing her get gutted by this. She was just another toy to him. She had to tell Riley and Sophie, in person, what she had done and what it meant for our family. Then, tell our extended family and close friends too. For 3 months, I'd have an affair of my own. I told her, you'll see what it's like wondering if I'm falling for someone else, if I might leave you for them, the same way you risked us. The catch? It would be a real emotional connection, just like her affair was. At the end, I'd tell her everything and be honest about my feelings. Number 7 was the toughest on both of us. I implemented my so-called affair, sneaking out, keeping Tinder installed where she could see it, texting secretly, vanishing for nights or weekends at a time. The truth? I wasn't dating anyone. I just holed up in Airbnbs or cabins, drank too much, and sobbed. The whole charade was exhausting. Anna, meanwhile, lost her mind worrying, and my own guilt was eating me alive. The crazy part is, pretending was ruining me, when Anna had cheated for real without a blink. Realizing this made me see who you have to be, deep down, to cheat on someone you love. I just don't think I can ever see her the same way again. Anyway, fast forward. Now we're in marriage counseling. She's making progress, but me, not so much. Some days are rougher than others. For now, the divorce papers are waiting in the drawer. I haven't quite pulled the trigger. I don't really know why. We haven't been intimate since D-Day, haven't been very close, but at least we're not at each other's throats. Anna is still falling over herself, apologizing, trying hard. I know there's a long road ahead, no idea where we'll end up. The part that gets to me is how destroyed I felt even just faking an affair. But Anna did it for real, so easily. I can't see her in a good light anymore. She seems like a monster. I wish I'd ended things on day 1. But now that we're so far down this road, I wonder, is it even possible to move past this? I've forgiven most of it, but I just can't get past that feeling. Edit. Anna and I stayed up all night after I showed her this post yesterday. Here is an update with some thoughts and reflections. We both know our odds of staying together are slim, and that years of pain lie ahead if we try. But this morning, we agreed to commit to the process. She was wrecked by a lot of the things I said, in this post and the comments. But even so, we managed an honest conversation which we don't often achieve. To everyone telling me in black and white how to act, it's completely different inside a disaster like this than looking at it from the outside. Nothing is clear or easy, and emotions are overwhelming. Even getting up in the morning feels like a mountain to climb. The best analogy I have for this kind of trauma is, imagine you're living life on top of a mountain, clear horizon in every direction, mind sharp, you know exactly who you are and what you want. Then, without warning, you're ripped off that mountain, locked in a coffin, then spun so fast you're dizzy, nauseous, and near passing out, and it's all pitch black. That's what my head felt like. Nobody makes good choices in that state. So yeah, I made mistakes too. For those worried we're hurting the kids, honestly, we talk with them a lot, and they're grateful we kept them informed and made them part of this. My youngest even said, it's my family too. They're more confident than I am, and appreciate having a say and helping out. We've always made it clear none of this is their fault, nor can they pick sides. They value being in the loop. Some of their friends are stuck in families that broke up with secrecy and lies. And they feel like mushrooms, kept in the dark and fed crap. Our kids are doing better than we are, honestly, and I hope we don't let them down. As for people wondering how I could torture Anna and still claim to want reconciliation, let me say, on D-Day I was determined to leave. The next day, when she begged me, I caved. I felt weak. I wanted her to suffer. Part of me was still in love. Part of me wanted her to pay. I made my demands, then waited for her to refuse, so I could finally walk away and blame her. Instead, she did every single thing, even the woman-to-woman confession, telling our kids, our friends, putting up with my fake affair, all of it. I was cruel, sometimes unreasonably so. I vented anger, and I'm not a small guy, so it can be intimidating. Anna never made excuses, she just took it. She tells me she never feared me, says she knows I'd never cross the line physically, but I'm not so sure. I've been close to losing it before. Those asking for her reasons, we've come to realize she felt trapped, stagnant. Life got too safe, her best friend died, and she fell for a smooth-talking predator who knew just what to promise. Turns out Mike had 2 or 3 women on the side at any given time. He even has 2 kids his wife never knew about. Anna feels disgusted with herself and is struggling to reconcile her actions with the person she thought she was. To be honest, I never gave reconciliation a fair shot. I kept searching for reasons to justify leaving Anna, hoping her pain or her failures would give me a clear out. But in truth, I was just scared of being hurt again, so I never really let myself try. Anna, meanwhile, has been 100% committed. A few people asked if I could ever give love as easily as punishment, and the answer is no, not yet. But it's time I learned. I've forgiven her, but kept her at arm's length, waiting for a reason good enough to walk out. That's not fair to either of us. From now on, I'm committed to giving it my best shot at rebuilding. Some comments condemned Anna. Others reminded me we all make bad choices. Right now, I control the punishment for her mistakes, and I don't like this role. I screw up too. Hurting her has driven me mad with anger and hate at times, but I know it's not helping. We're both only human. I have to get off my high horse and meet her halfway if this is ever going to work. Anna says that after D-Day, she knew I was serious. She had no way to hide, nowhere to turn. She never loved Mike. It was just the thrill, the fantasy. She told me the only thing that snapped her out of the affair fog was my hard, harsh stance. She says the punishment made sense and helped her. She's thanked me for not letting her off easy and for forcing her to face reality. She punishes herself much worse than I ever did. She's confessed she considered ending herself. You can probably imagine how that made me feel. But she didn't because she thought it would let her off too lightly. She's admitted to self-harming since D-Day, pinching, bruising, beating herself with tools, her legs purple and black. Clearly not okay. We agreed to focus on self-forgiveness because without it, healing can't start. The sad part is, since Anna lost the ability to forgive herself, she's lost everything I once loved. Her laughter, her confidence, her patience. When she's punishing herself, it snuffs out every trait I married her for. That makes it impossible for me to reconnect, to feel anything warm toward her. But all things considered, thanks to some helpful online strangers, we have made progress. For the first time since D-Day, we slept in the same bed. That was nice, I'll admit. I do love her, and part of me hates myself for it. But the thought of the kids keeps me going. Whatever happens, we're going to try to create something new, because the old us is gone for good. After D-Day, I tortured Anna for 9 months, became her personal mental jailer, because I couldn't make peace with her cheating or with my own feelings. She put 100% into trying to heal us. I just held on to my anger, hiding behind self-respect and bitterness. I desperately wanted a reason to leave, but just couldn't do it. In the process, my cruelty piled on top of her infidelity until we were both emotionally smashed. Eventually, I saw what needed to change if either of us was ever going to heal. I had to face my weakness and finally make a genuine effort. But now I worry I may have broken Anna too. She feels unworthy of love. When I leave her a flower or a nice note, she reads it and cries instead of smiling. Lately, we've made some good progress. Things on the surface look improved. But today, I found Anna hiding and crying after I made her breakfast in bed. Seeing her like that sucked out every ounce of motivation I had, like popping a balloon. I'm just left empty, numbed out, hopeless. Can barely get out of bed or even talk to the kids. Empty, that's all I feel. So, we're separated now. We've been making some progress with reconciliation. Anna did basically everything right, but she can't forgive herself and hates her guts. I managed to ignore my emotions for a while, but underneath I was boiling. Emasculation, humiliation, betrayal, all of it swirling inside. Eventually, I fell back into being mean, angry, unforgiving, and I don't want to be that way anymore. So we took some space. Maybe down the line we'll pick up the pieces, for Riley and Sophie's sake, but right now, we just need distance. Sometimes Humpty Dumpty just can't be put back together. Honestly, I'm not hopeful anymore. That's it for this story. This story illustrates the cycle of pain that can result from betrayal and revenge, even when both partners desperately want to heal. Sometimes, the damage done by both people runs so deep that even the best intentions and hardest work can't restore what's lost. I've got a question for you. What do you think is the point of no return in a relationship after betrayal? Have you or someone you know ever made it back from something like this? Share your thoughts below.